The biggest lie in mainstream publishing that I keep seeing pushed is the notion of banned books. And they keep talking about it. We talked about Stephen King this weekend on how he claims he's the most banned author in America. And I'm like, you just had a movie come out last week of one of your books. What are you even talking about? Get out of here. Now, this is crazy because obviously, all these are books that are just promoted by the mainstream establishment. Well, it's going one even crazier at this point. Penguin Random House, which is one of the biggest publishers out there, has its own distribution arm. I mean, it's a giant monolith like none other, is doing a banned books tour. You can't make this stuff up. And this is, again, just a lie that they promote all the way around. It is false advertising. None of this stuff is banned. Who actually gets banned in books? Well, I'll let you know in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button and join us here as we talk about all things books, because we care about books and care about our culture. This is my book called Churchianity: How Modern American Churches Corrupted Generations of Christians. Now, I did a scathing example on social justice that is in the church, about Marxism and the like. This is the type of book that Penguin Random House would never allow distributed via their platforms. It's very too much spicy for them. And of course, it is just normal content about here that most normal people probably believe. But that is the type of thing that they don't want around here. And what we did was we actually went out and became a #1 bestseller in religious philosophy over the last month. And I did this without the help of anybody in the establishment publishing, without any libraries picking it up. It was all just independent direct sales to readers like you. Now, that is an independent out there circumventing the fact that I'm blacklisted from publishing, that libraries don't pick up this type of content at all. And I don't go out there and complain about it and be like, I'm a banned book author. Yeah, and that's why these libraries must carry my book. But there's a reason they talk about this in terms of the libraries and not actually just where their books are sold and the like, and it's because a lot of this establishment publishing is completely fake and propped up. If you don't know how the library system works at this point, there are thousands of libraries out there, and then the establishment publishing goes out, gives them the catalog, they pick a few of them, and then they sell 10, 20,000 copies of a book, maybe by some random politician on the left or whatnot, or some random cause they want to pick up, some new author that they gave $100,000 advance for her lesbian disabled dungeon crawling experience sort of deal. And when they do that, these authors then get a ton of book sales, and nobody's ever even reading them whatsoever. It's pretty crazy. And so you can get on a New York Times bestseller list without anybody actually buying your books, which is what they want, and they want to control that. It's a whole clout system, and that's exactly what all of this has become. So when they talk about banned books, they're only talking about one thing, which is books not being allowed in school classrooms at this point. Now, the big deal came out a couple of years ago. It was called genderqueer. And as you can see, and I bleeped it out for YouTube and the like, because it certainly wouldn't be allowed here, they have graphic material in this. And this they've been trying to put in children's libraries. Even the author says that this should not be in front of children. And yet at the same time, the publisher, the Comics Legal Defense Fund, goes out there and claims it's a banned book, it needs support, it needs all this stuff as they try to get this going. It's pure pornography, right? And this is the type of stuff that they want to put into children's classrooms. Now, like I said, Penguin's Random House is using this basically as a marketing stunt at this point. And that's what it is. It's a cynical marketing stunt saying, we are the publishers, we've got the distribution, we've got this widely available everywhere. It's in fact in most libraries, it's just not in school classrooms. And we want to make sure that this stuff gets out there and, of course, gets in your children's faces all the way around. So here's what they call it. They say the banned books wagon, yes, with a giant bus of banned books, hits the road banned books week. They have a banned books week, like it's like a holiday. I mean, this is ridiculous. None of this stuff's banned whatsoever. It's not even like I'm suppressed. And of course, they'd never publish me. They would never allow that. But at the same time, like all these are regularly published and regularly reprinted and then pushed very, very hard and marketed, and lots of marketing money is being spent on it. Penguin Random House, like I said, the biggest publishing group and distributor out there, presented in partnership with every library and first book. So public library nonprofit funds are a part of this. Will visit libraries and bookstores across Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia to take action to save our stories. Save our stories? Well, what books are we talking about saving our stories right here on your bookstore? So they're going to libraries. They're allowed to sell at the libraries, and they are doing that. Look at this, 1984. Again, this is something that actually is in a lot of classrooms that's taught, and this is kind of a 1984 level propaganda gaslighting, where they're claiming these are banned books that are very much not banned books, and so you are supposed to think that they're banned and just be manipulated. That's kind of what this book warns about, isn't it? Right? But you wouldn't think so. So in the top of these, they're mostly these types of political types of thing. It gets kind of weird because you get into The Handmaid's Tale in here, which is a giant feminist sort of deal. And this one actually does have graphic sex scenes in it. So it's like, okay, I could see that being on a list and getting out of there and maybe not want to be in that. Then it gets really weird. How to be an anti-racist. So this is an anti-white screed. And yeah, this shouldn't be in classrooms because it is something that's just not very nice to the white children in the classrooms. They're going to be treated as second-class citizens by something like this. That's what it's all about. It's all about making white people feel guilty and bad about themselves. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Here, I am not your perfect Mexican daughter. Again, this is just like weird stuff in here that is like, what's going on? But as it goes through, Slaughterhouse-Five, another one that is very much, this is taught in a lot of schools, so I don't even know what they're talking about. So, I mean, they must have, say, like one school didn't want it in their curriculum or something like that, and they say, oh, it's banned now. Okay, sure. Then you get into middle grade, and it gets really weird. Brown Girl Dreaming. What the heck is this? Vivid lyrical programs about being brown. Born Behind Bars, which is more about brown people. Colonization and the Wampanoag story. Oh, yes, anti-white propaganda here. This is pretty crazy. But then you get into the picture books for like ages 4+. All are welcome. Diversity. Wow. This is a DEI programming right here. But it gets creepier as you get down into this. Hair Love. This is, again, just for black people again. And then it gets Rainbow Parade. So they are throwing this at 4-year-olds saying, be gay, be lesbians, be transgender. This is a rainbow parade. This is what they're trying to throw, and it said for 4 years old, right? This is what they want in classrooms for 4-year-olds. Now, children shouldn't be taught about sex and sex at 4 years old. This is crazy. This is nut jobs, and this is why parents oppose this type of stuff. It doesn't make this book banned any more than like my book, which I would not talk about this being in a children's class or whatever, because I do talk about sinful behavior, and of course, sinful behavior involves different sexual situations. And I say that a lot of the churches are actually getting loose on that sort of thing when it's actually a big core, purity is a big part of Christianity, right? And so I wouldn't advocate for that to be in a school or claim it's banned based on that sort of deal. But this is what they do. They are gaslighting everybody 100%. My two border towns, here we go. This is overtly crazy political stuff, just trying to manipulate people. And again, the whole problem with this isn't just that it exists or whatever. If you're a parent and you want to put this in front of your kids, it's kind of weird. And I'd say that there's probably a problem there. But at the same time, I can't do anything about that. This is my tax dollars that then go into the schools and then fund these books going to the schools that I'm supposed to then be forced to pay for out of my tax dollars because you can't just sell your books like a normal person because nobody actually wants this type of stuff. And that's exactly what they've got through this entire industry. Sick stuff. And yes, this is a cynical marketing tour because it is at libraries. So it's not like libraries are not carrying these or having problems with them, right? They're actually putting this out at libraries. They're allowed to do it, and it is your tax dollars at work paying for this type of thing to be put in front of your children, and that's what they're demanding, because otherwise they're just not going to sell. And if they're not going to sell, they're going to be out of business. And that's what that's the main problem here that they have. They want to force reading habits upon you and your children rather than actually allow children to discover what they want to read naturally. Please leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Check out my book, Churchianity, in the description below. Thanks for reading and making it a #1 bestseller without the support of Penguin Random House, the public libraries, or anybody's tax dollars. We did it all ourselves, and that's the way that it should be done, shouldn't it?